Hey, beautiful people. I wanted to make this video to share with you this amazing work that I've learned over the last sort of 12 to 18 months. It's been very, very powerful. It's completely changed my life and the life of many of my clients and many of the other coaches that are teaching this new modality around the world. There's about 500 of us that are actually certified, so it's pretty cool. So just before I start explaining to you why success is structure and not personal, a little bit about my journey. I was having professional careers and multiple businesses and all sorts, lots of success over the years, but I still wasn't happy with them myself. There was still something that I knew I had to create, something I wanted to be, but I had all this resistance around it. Now, I had a massive sabotaging belief called I do not belong. Now, the do not belong sabotaging belief, and there's 6 main ones, and I'll come to that later. The don't belong, what it actually does is it stops you actually going out and being in front of people and being in a relaxed state, or go out and creating a lot, or making videos or content because you have a fear of being judged. Being judged by others, and you do not judge others. But what you do is create a whole lot of communities and businesses for people to come to, so you can step into it, so you have a sense of belonging. So that's the opposite reverse side effect of it. So it was a very heavy sabotaging belief, and I've done a work around it and figured out why I had it and why it was there, and that's all been cleared now. And obviously, because here I am doing videos, which is pretty cool, pretty powerful. So I went on this journey, and for me to actually find the sabotaging belief, I answered an ad online from my mentor, Chris Duncan. He was talking about this brand new modality. This new modality is based on 20 to 30 years of neuroscience that's only been around really since 2019 and called the SUPERCONSCIOUS RECODE, and other processes as well. So I went along to this preview event, removed the sabotaging belief, actually learned that it was a thing, because prior to that I'd learned and studied about the conscious, the ego, which is all thoughts, what you think about, and I'd also learned about the unconscious, which is all about feeling, keeping things the same, survival. So I had a lot of knowledge, but I just had that missing piece, and that was the superconscious, which is the field of information around you. It's you, it's your passed down family traits, it's your genes, it's your hair color, it's your height, it's everything about you, your superconscious. It's a field of information, and it's very, very powerful. It doesn't know the difference between right or wrong. It simply gives you all the information that you need, and it's very, very powerful. And we simply step into and activate on it by our intuition. If we learn to work on our intuition muscle in our brain, we can actually connect to our superconscious, be our superconscious, and actually receive information as to what we want to create, what is our true purpose, which is really powerful, which we do in this work one-on-one or in the masterclass. So we have all that in there. So anyways, so what I want to explain to you today, that success is not personal, it's just structural. So say, for example, if we're looking at life now and we want to have more of something, say, for example, we want to have more love, more money, more health, more relationships, then that must mean that our current reality is less, because we don't have it now. So that means our identity at the moment is that we have less. So when we have less, we might have scarcity, because over here, in our desired reality, where we want to have more, we may very well want to have more money. Do you understand that? Can you see that? Two different, totally different structures. When we're in our desired structure of actually creating, we have to step into be it now. This is when we can truly create from a conscious point of view. So it might be more health that you want. It might be more relationships. It doesn't really matter what it is. It could be just abundance of whatever you choose. And if we don't have that, we might be lonely. We might be tired. So when we're going for what we want in our desired reality, we have our current reality. This is the key. Our current identity, which is here, which is our current identity in this current reality, knows that if it goes and makes desired reality, it's going to be a new identity. Now, we can't have two identities. We can only have one. So to create this new identity, which is having all that we love, the old one has to die. The old behaviours, the old habits, the old way of thinking, all this has to die. It has to go. Now, this takes a bit of time, because we have years, 10, 20, 30 years build up of this information stored in our current reality, and it's just not going to shift all in one go. We have massive wins in this work, but it does take time. So what we have when we're going for our desired reality, say we're going to have that business, more money, more health, whatever it may be, And our current identity here will put up resistance in the field. Now this resistance, there's 6 main sabotaging beliefs. The big one that I had, that don't belong, but there's 5 others, like not good enough, not capable, not worthy, insignificant, and not perfect. They're the main 6. Now they're all in here as resistance to what we want to create. Now the identity puts this resistance up to start with in our new creations, not because it doesn't care about us, but because it doesn't know if it's going to survive over here. It doesn't know if it's going to live. So it puts up the resistance to pull us back, to keep us safe. So theoretically, it's actually doing us a favour. The feelings and emotions on the memory of this resistance that's created generally from passed down family, but mostly between the ages 0 to 7 as growing up as a child or as a teenager. But all the feeling and emotion on the memories, which is the resistance, has simply been a creation, a part of us at some stage to protect us, to keep us alive, to avoid pain, to give us more joy, whichever. So when we have all this resistance as a younger child, it may suit us, but when we get older, it gets in the way. And that's the important thing we need to work on. In this work, we don't focus on the current reality. We step into the desired reality and start creating it and remove the resistance that's in the way. So as I mentioned, as we're going for our desired reality, what happens is the identity will pull us back down. And it will try and teach us or tell us, and this is through society, that in some way you're broken. That you need to fix yourself. And it's just not true. It's just the wrong identity, the wrong structure. But what the current situation we have in the moment, we will get pulled down here because we may have doubt in what we want to achieve. We might have fear. Whatever it may be, the identity is very powerful in being able to put this resistance in our way. Now you can push through this and just take it all with you and be in a desired reality, and we know this because you look at some of the famous people out there, like Michael Jackson, awesome talent, fabulous wealth, creativity, massive creation, but had obviously a lot of issues going on. Lady Gaga still cries before she goes on stage with "I'm not good enough," but she pushes through it and performs in talent and just blows everybody away. So we know we can push through this and there's a lot of success out there with people having it, but they still have these issues as feelings, emotions stuck on memories. Okay. So, but for the 95% of us, we're getting stuck in here and pulled back down. And I know this because this was me. This was me for years, doing more programs, doing more therapy, doing more courses, reading more books, listening to more webinars to try and find out what it was that was getting in my way, that was stopping me have what I love, stopping me have what I want to achieve, stopped me on my true purpose and my Dharma because the resistance was too much. So when we're in the structure here, we're coming down, we do another therapy, we read another book, we do another seminar, whatever it may be. We then pop back up here, back to our current reality, and we go for it again, and there's more resistance or other resistance. We will get some wins and some beautiful wins and learn a lot, but we'll still have that resistance, and we'll come back down. So when we're in the structure, we're simply not creating anything, and this is key. When we're stuck in the structure, we're not having what we want, which is the main reason why we're here, is because we want to have more. We want to be on our true purpose. We want to have a life that we love. So it's so powerful in this work that we step into this, and how we do this is we have closed eyes through the process of the RECODE, and we simply close eyes, and when we close our eyes, we can't see anything. So all the 20 million points of information that are coming into our conscious through our eyes simply shuts down, and then our unconscious believes whatever we visualize to be true. Now if we say, for example, and you can do this with me if you want to, if you just close your eyes and picture running or walking down the beach, and you can hear the waves crashing in and the people laughing and giggling over there and going for swims, you can feel it, hear it, and your unconscious believes you to be there. And that's how powerful this work is we can really step into this true end result and then see the resistance. If there's any resistance about being at the beach, you will have felt it straight away come up. So what basically happens is we have stuck, flowing, and isolating. When we are stuck, we're not too sure what we want to create, or we may have given it a go and had a knockback and stop. We might have opened up a program, gone halfway through it, not finished it, half read a book, whatever. But we're actually going for what we want. The old identity pulls us back down. So it's like a rocking chair. We're just swinging, isolating, and then stuck. Once we start to remove this resistance, and the resistance that's in here is always different depending on what we're going for. So we have 4 true choices that we go for to start with, to clear a lot of this, and then as we're going through more creations that you want to create in here, then we remove the rest of the resistance. But as we start to remove the resistance, we come over to isolating. You might be stuck, but then you might, oh, I've started my website, I've got my first client. It might pull you back. When you get remove more resistance, you get over to the flowing, which is just so powerful, because then you're having it all and you might isolate a little bit, but you're in flowing, which is exactly where you want to be. So it's very, very powerful. When we're in our beautiful flowing, life is great. You have the inner energy, you're on purpose, everything falls into place exactly how it's meant to, just because you're in the flowing in your desired reality. Now, there's so many people in the world, very successful millionaires, and they know this, is to be in the structure, not trying to fix yourself, not trying to react, not trying to resolve what's wrong, because there's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken, you're just in the wrong structure. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about this work, what I'm actually doing is I'm actually running a really, really good deal. A coaching session is normally about anywhere up to 90 minutes, where we go through more education, we get really intimate as to what's in the way with you on a one-on-one, just you and myself, and we actually really dive into what you want to create. Now, if there's any resistance around that, we clear that in the program, in the coaching session, and then we get on with your true, beautiful creations. Now, the sessions are normally $399. I'm doing them for you for 79 New Zealand dollars, so that's not a lot in the US. If you're in the US, 79 New Zealand dollars. Come and spend 90 minutes with me. We'll remove resistance. You can experience what it's like to have the feelings and emotions taken off, old memories that are in the way, that are causing anxiety, frustration, sabotaging beliefs, self-limiting beliefs, whatever. Come with me, come have an experience. It's going to be pretty cool, and I'd love to work with you. I'm also going to give you, for all those that come along, also going to give you a free copy of our lenses, which is a workbook which is really, really powerful for creating. And it also teaches and shows you where you actually got resistance in your creations, which is pretty cool. And also, I'm going to throw in a couple of really cool meditations. Magnet Mind meditation, which is all about focusing on what you want to create, where are you now, and what steps you need to take to achieve that. And once you achieve that, what are you going to do next? So click on the link if you'd like to come along and have a session with me for 79 New Zealand dollars. I'd love to have you, and we'll see you there.